The cast of characters continue to assemble at Belleville 1994. Kevin Doty, in a track that was faster Friday night than Thursday night, was the fast qualifier. He started fourth in the helmet dash. That's he in that red and white #1. On the inside, second fastest qualifier tonight, Indiana's Tony Elliott. Donnie Beachler out of Missouri, third fastest qualifier. Paige Jones, he starts on the pole in the 4-lap 4-car race of speed helmet dash, and Donnie Beachler gets the advantage as the green flag comes.
Donnie Beachler sure does, and on the outside goes Kevin Doty as the cushion once again seems to be the place to be as we take a look at Tony Elliott running down on the inside.
Now remember, Doty was relatively fast on Thursday night. It looked like he was in a profile to win the main event. Estes and particularly Danny Dryden were very quick, but Doty was certainly headed for a top 5 last night and dropped out of the main event.
Beachler seems to be leading quite easily over Kevin Doty. Paige Jones running in third position. All of those guys right up on the cushion, all trying to find that little edge that gets them around. As we see right there, Doty drops to the bottom, seeing if he can gain a little advantage, but he doesn't seem to be able to.
Beachler, the Missouri driver, is in one of the 2 Potter Muffler Shop specials. Identical V6 cars. His teammate, we'll see a little later, Tony Stewart, who ran a Silver Crown car in Indianapolis last night.
Beachler doing a nice job right around the top. Looks like he's going to go on down one more corner to make and take the checkered flag on this trophy dash here tonight.
Donnie Beachler is going to take home the prize for the race of speed. That's the race I like to say the fast qualifiers have a chance to measure each other. Here's the official rundown of tonight's helmet dash.
Donnie, after last night's motor problems, this must feel pretty good.
Yeah, anything feels pretty good after last night.
How's the racetrack? 3 of you guys broke the track record tonight.
Well, last night it was it had a pretty good heavy cushion on top. This here is a little bit smoother. You can get in a lot easier and keep your momentum up a little bit better.
All right, we'll look forward to seeing you in the heat.
Thanks.
All right, now let's start putting together the starting lineup for tonight's main event. And the first 4 finishers from tonight's main event get the automatic pass to the championship race. Here's a rundown, heat race #1. John Backlund and Buddy Nelson in the front row, Fred Teagarden and Robert Delacki in row #2. The white #11 of Danny Borst out of Milwaukee is third. John Sarna, brand new midget driver, starts on the outside of the 3rd row, and Jay Drake in the black #5 and Paige Jones in the white #9 comprise the 4th row. Look at this start, Larry. What are we talking about here? 7 abreast.
What a start. You saw Teagarden, 2nd row, jump into the lead. He got right up there. Sarna comes up there, tries to get around as Paige Jones also in 4th spot.
Sarna almost getting in trouble. The driver, lean on midget experience, had to swing the car sideways. Brakes don't have that much of an effect on a good track.
And look at Paige Jones, 3 abreast, right up around the top of the racetrack. Nice job, right into 2nd place.
Sarna doing a good job on that blue and orange #20. Moving through the field, moving up into a qualifying position for the main event. Down on the bottom, he runs 4th. There's John.
Nelson pulling into the pits on the backstretch. That 04 car, something must have happened to him.
Paige Jones now challenging Fred Teagarden Jr. for the lead. Paige Jones, he has shown the entire gamut of emotions you can have running at Belleville in the last 2 years. 2 years ago, he was one of the fastest cars on the preliminary night. Smoke coming from Paige's car again. It looked like he was destined to be one of the candidates to win. He broke, didn't even make the main event. That was 2 years ago. Last year, he was the Belleville champion. This year's fast again, heavy smoke.
Yeah, he's had awful bad luck the last few times he's run this race car. It seems like he's always had some sort of little things going wrong. And smoke is certainly not a good indication things are going to go well tonight.
Seems to be less, though, this time, though, than it was the last couple laps. Any idea what caused that?
Well, when you run out of oil, the smoke gets less, so that could be one of the
When you run out of oil, that doesn't like start clanging and making noise.
Yeah, it's going to do that very shortly if that in fact is what happened. We don't know for sure, but it did smoke very heavily. It could be power steering fluid. Sometimes power steering fluid gives out that kind of same smoke.
Meanwhile, there's the battle for 4th as Jay Drake moves to the high side in that black silver trim #5. Jay out of California, one of the most exciting midget drivers in the United States of America. Paige almost getting over that cushion.
He's lost power for some reason. He got in there and lost power. That's the reason he got over the cushion. He's had some sort of a problem. He's going to head directly to the pits, and that smoke must have been a bad sign.
Jay Drake, make that Robert Delacki. Sorry, I got my black cars mixed up. There's another California Robert Galacki moves up to Fred Teagard, and what a victory this would be for Freddie. Freddie Teagard comes to Belleville not as one of the favorites, but certainly one of the respected midget drivers, and Teagard looks like he's headed for victory here, and he raced number 1.
Galacki and Drake both back there battling for second spot, both trying to get around him, but it looks like they can't either one do it.
Close finish for second place, but Fred Teagard, relatively speaking, coast home to win. John Sarna, very respectable 4th place. Danny Borse, disappointing 5th.
Fred, nice job.
Thank you.
Looked like Paige had problems there at the end. You took the lead, and then Paige got around you, and then all of a sudden Paige come to a screeching halt.
Man, I was just hanging on. When I saw him do that, I was just trying to get the heck out of his way.
Well, nice job. I look forward to seeing you in the feature.
Thank you.
So Freddie Teagard wins heat race number 1 here on Saturday night. Here's the lineup for heat race number 2. Keith Roush, once a star of Saturday night. Was that Thursday night? That was Saturday night then.
Whatever night.
Saturday Night Thunder out in California. Aaron Fiskus, driver who is relatively new to midget racing, starts on the outside in that blue and white number 16. Tony Stewart, watch him. He's 3rd. Jack Hewitt, he starts 4th. Sleepy Trip and Robbie Flock, they make up row number 3. Keep your eye on those 2 cars. They're black and red. Donnie Beachler on the inside in the black Primer 6X, another V6. Mark Stassa, he starts 4th. Green flag, he raced number 2. Keith Roush, early leader. Oh, Hewitt.
Boy, he did. Hewitt did slide right up in front of another car there. They banged together, but Hewitt stands on the gas and keeps on going.
There's the number 6X of Donnie Beachley. We heard from him a little earlier in the broadcast. He did well in the helmet dash, and out front right now, Robbie Flock got a great jump at the start of the race, and Flock jumped all the way from 6th to 1st at the drop of the green flag. He is history. We're seeing nothing except the tail of the horse.
And Sleepy Trip running in 3rd, right behind Hewitt, trying to find a way around. Hewitt wants to drop down every once in a while. When he does, he gives Sleepy a little bit of an opening, but Sleepy can't take advantage of it so far.
All of you probably know that Jack Hewitt was very seriously injured in a sprint car crash at Eldora Speedway in Ohio late last year. He says that he's back about 90% from those injuries, although actually he's sore right now from a Silver Crown crash involving, I think, it was Warren Mockler. But Jackie is still trying to recover, but incidentally, he recently won at the I-96 Speedway in Michigan a USAC sprint car.
He says his eye is getting much better. It's almost back to normal, and he said once that started happening, as we see right here, Sleepy Trip in a very brave move around the outside, takes over 2nd spot. Jack Hewitt and Donnie Beachler in that black number 6 car down on the inside. I think Hewitt's got problems, though. It seems to be slowing down.
And Jack got way high going into corner number 1. Tripp has moved around the high side of him. Beachler to the low side. Let's see how Beachler can handle Tripp now. Beachler was one of our 4 fastest qualifiers of the night, and actually has shown a pretty good speed profile the last 2 days here at Belleville. He may be a candidate for Saturday night's championship.
Well, he certainly may, and Sleepy Trip doing a nice job in this car from New Zealand that he's only driven a couple of times. He's driven it down there, but it's brand new in the United States. I think this is only the 3rd outing for him.
There's Robbie Flock. He is gone. He's going to win this race unless something goes wrong. Back to the subject of Beachler. Beachler is an excellent midget racer. The Potter V6 is an excellent midget car, but I wouldn't have paired those 2 before I saw them this weekend. I was a little surprised to see them together as a team.
Oh, yeah, he always seemed like he had never gotten into driving for guys that were more or less USAC type guys until this race, and he's always stuck with more or less the outlaw type midget guys, but seems to be a good combination. He's running fast.
Meanwhile, guess what? Checkered flag coming up in prime time. Scores in prime time as Robbie Flock wins this. 2nd goes to Sleepy Trip, and Donnie Beachler, trust me, he was in 3rd place, and here's Flock coming back to his position in the pit area.
See that number 24 inside the 1, back on the back of the race car, Larry? A lot of drivers are superstitious about the number 1. It brings them bad luck. He wants the number 24 on that race car somewhere so that maybe it won't be bad luck. We'll see later on this week.
And yet the number 1 is what is assigned to the IndyCar champion of every year, and has won a few Indy 500 races. Here is the rundown of heat race number 2. Flock Trip, Donnie Beachler was 3rd, Jack Hewitt 4th.
Robbie, that race car was on a rail.
Yeah, it is. I swear the Stealth is working like an Indy car out there. Ever since the first hot lap session, it's just been on a rail. Chuck Kelly, my crew chief's got it working great.
Here is heat race number 3's lineup. The jockey-sized Josh Pelkey starts on the inside in number 17. It's white this year. Mike Minarick is on the outside in car number 53, another white car. Johnny Heidenreich out of the east in car number 92, and Tice Carlson looks black. Trust me, it's a purple color. Gary Howard starts the striker car on the inside of row number 3. Randy Roberts in the black number 5D starts in 6th. Jimmy Sills on the inside in car number 36, and Tony Elliott in the sky blue number 57.
Pelkey gets a great jump off the start. Tice Carlson at black number 7 jumps into second spot as the rest of the guys scramble back there trying to gain spots, running 3 and 4 abreast.
Don't know that that was the cleanest of starts, but the officials appear as though they're going to allow it. And boy, somebody is up there almost riding into the cushion. I think that was Tice Carlson.
Carlson got a little bit of a slide job there, coming out 3rd and 4. Just couldn't quite get out of the way.
That was Roberts almost at the fence. Tice in the Purple Haze, I call it, racing team is running up there in 3rd position. That was Randy Roberts. Now Roberts goes to the inside of Tice.
Roberts running into the 3rd position now. Everybody trying to jockey up on that cushion. The cushion hasn't been the fastest place all week long, last night, tonight, and still seems to be the fastest way around the racetrack.
This is heat race number 3. The first 4 finishers, Josh Pelkey right now holding on the lead. He started on the pole, turning in a good race. The first 4 finishers move on to the Friday night main event, that white car on the center of your screen. That's Johnny Heidenreich. And the first 4 finishers in the main event. Tice Carlson's got a problem. Hand came out. Don't know that Tony Elliott saw him. He must have, because he was very close to him, and he missed him. Tice Carlson in a qualifying position for the Friday night main event got car problems.
Jimmy Sills running second to Josh Pelkey, a youngster versus an old veteran here, and Sills doesn't seem to be able to gain a whole lot on him, as Pelkey really doing a nice job keeping that race car up in front of the pack.
Jimmy Sills, who has driven for just about everybody. Oh, and look at here, Pelkey, heavy smoke. I was about to say that Sills has driven for almost everybody except you and me, but let's follow this story on Pelkey. Running a great race, young driver that nobody really expected to have that terrific of a weekend, and now heavy smoke coming out as he leads this heat.
He's still doing a nice job. He doesn't seem to have lost any power. Sills has got to be the one worried right now. You see him kind of dropping down out of the groove, because if Pelkey blows that engine, stops in front of him, it could cause him a problem. So he's got to be concerned a little bit, trying to follow him too close.
And what Sills is thinking is that, hey, I'm in the main event as long as I stay where I am. So you're probably right, Larry. I doubt that we'll see Jimmy Sills put in a challenge to Josh Pelkey, even if he could. Now, maybe Josh is running that well.
Well, Pelkey's running very well. I don't think Sills is holding back, but I don't think he's going to get right up on his rear bumper and follow him through the corners for that reason we just said. If anything does go wrong, he loses power. You don't want to be real close. But we see him right here at the checkered flag. He does get within car length.
Peoria, Arizona's Josh Pelkey picks up the checkered flag here at the end of heat race number 3 at Belleville, 94. You can see Jimmy Sills was second, Randy Roberts third, and Johnny Heidenreich coming home 4th.
Josh, it looks like you may have got the bugs out of this thing.
Yeah, I think we did. We still got a little bit of oil leak, but we'll get it.
Well, for what it's worth, you beat Jimmy Sills.
All right.
Sometimes in a racing weekend, you have a teammate. Robbie Flock, teammate Jason Jonkman. Advice.
What?
Talk to me.
I did the big move on the bottom. It's just a little greasy coming off, but if you got it clear, just drive right through and go to the top and then get momentum. All right, it's getting high up here, but it's smooth as glass. It's getting a little choppy, not choppy, but a curve up there.
Pulling it off?
But no, I'm just hitting it because I'm driving right through it and it's perfect. It's nothing like last night. But do a big move on the start. Where do you start?
Go outside.
Then get momentum, and if they're all, if you got carrying speed, then drop down to the bottom. If you're equal with them, stay up to the top and take the top line.
Exactly 1 year ago tonight in this heat race, a dramatic moment occurred for Belleville. Leland McSpadden was injured. He's in this race again this year.
You took a pretty nasty crash last year, and you were out for a few races after that. How do you feel about coming back to this joint?
Well, you know, it's just like any other racetrack. There's times when you take a spill, you know, and you just have to block that out of your mind and go back racing. You know, you're a racer at heart, and that's what you do for a living. And you just put that out of your mind and come back and race the race just like you always would.
There's Leland starting in 6th. Now remember the advice that Robbie Flock gave his teammate Jason Jonkman. He starts on the outside of row number 4, bright red number 1. Let's see if Jonkman can take that advice. Flock said if you get your momentum up, you can dive down to the bottom and pick up a lot of positions at the beginning. There's Jonkman. He does have a hole, and look at this, Larry. Jonkman follows that advice exactly. He moves up to third to second. He's challenging for the lead after starting in the last row.
Brosman and fixes Brosman up against the fence. Sparks flying as he actually hit the fence and gave Jonkman the opening to jump right in the lead on one corner from the fourth row. Terrific job.
A script written by Robbie Flock. Now, here are the competitors and how they lined up originally in this one. Dave Newman, Bob Brosman, number 55, Dean Franklin in the black, number 23. Randy Fiskus, that's 67 right there, Steve Knipper. Hans Lean is also in this one, as is Kevin Doty. So this is a tough field that Jason Jonkman has just put away here, basically, in lap number 1.
Boy, he certainly got a great jump. That's probably one of the best starts we've seen. Hans Lean in the red number 2 car up on the top as Knipper goes around him into about 4th position.
There's Knipper moving to the high side of Randy Fiskus. Fiskus is 4th right now. Steve Knipper is 5th. Knipper trying to get into the championship final by way of tonight's main event. If he finishes in the first 4 in this race, he'll move on to the main event, and Knipper does it. He moves into 4th.
He was in his yellow car last night. That was his dad's car. He's in the 67 car tonight. Because of a problem with the engine, they decided to hire him for the Veronian car, and he's very happy just to have a ride here.
Jason Jonkman continues to lead. Kevin Doty, remember, is another competitor in this race. Steve Knipper, another one of the top drivers who has entered in this race. Running second right now happens to be Doty. Knipper has moved up to 4th. Now Knipper challenges for 3rd position.
He certainly does. He's really moved up. He didn't get a very good start. That's Exped in the 47 car that he just went around. He did not get the start that some of the other guys got, so he had to work a little harder. He has moved into 3rd. Now he's looking to move up even farther.
Exped, remember, is in the Andy Bondio car, and of course Bondio is very much involved in, when it's active, GTP racing, so really versatile guy behind a wrench.
That's right. Jonkman's still leading Kevin Doty. Doty, the more experienced of the two, but Jonkman seems to be handling this racetrack very well with no more experience than he's got here.
Been an interesting week so far for Kevin Doty. He was unable to finish in the first 4 last night. He was running competitively, had car problems. Was in the helmet dash tonight. A lot of people thought that because he was the fastest qualifier that perhaps the dash was going to be his, but no, it wasn't. Donnie Beechler took that home. Kevin Doty finishes 2nd as the checkered flag comes out here in heat number 4. Here's a man that many think is going to do well, perhaps win this race some year. McSpadden holds on for 4th, and Randy Fiskus misses by 1. He's 5th.
Looked like your teammate Robbie Flock gave you some good pointers.
Yeah, he did. He helps me out as much as he can. He helps me out. You know, this place, I've only been here, this is my 2nd time I've been here, and he's been here a lot of times, and he knows the place pretty good.
You got a great start. What were you thinking?
I don't know. I guess if you don't have the momentum and you got the speed, just carry it down low and then just move up in front of him, and, you know, it all comes together. So.
All right, well, good luck.
Thank you very much.
The semi-feature, last chance for everybody who hasn't made it so far. Here's the lineup: Tony Ellett, our sky blue at number 57. Paige Jones, last year's winner, 2nd row, Gary Howard and Dan Borst. Row number 3, the red number 2 of Hans Lean and Tice Carlson, the deep purple number 7. Row number 4, Tony Stewart, Randy Fiskus. The 5th row, Aaron Fiskus in number 16 and Dean Franklin. Then Keith Roush, Buddy Nelson, Bob Brosman, Mike Minaric, Steve Stassa, and John Backlund, and Dave Newman. Those are the cars in tonight's last chance race. We'll take 6 and move on to the main. Now the inside of row number 3, Hans Lean dropped down low, took a look, no! Must have heard him coming up because the door was slammed, and Tony Elliott takes the initial lead.
Tony Elliott got a good start, jumped out in front, and boy, the scramble in behind there is terrific because those guys are running 2 and 3 abreast again, trying to find a way for that top 4 position.
Some people call this the hooligan. I think that's a bit of a misnomer. I think it's a little condescending, but it is sometimes a very exciting race because it is the last chance to get into any event's main event.
It certainly is the last chance. Paige Jones right up on the cushion, running a higher line than Tony Elliott, trying to find some place to gain a little bit of speed. Elliott's pretty fast, though, in that race car.
If you've watched other of our broadcasts, you've seen Tony Elliott perform extremely well on the pavement of Anderson Speedway, a high-bank quarter-mile track earlier this year. Elliott, very versatile driver, and he's showing it here at Belleville tonight as he was the 2nd fastest qualifier of everybody entered this evening. Right now, he's leading the semi-main event.
Paige Paige Jones in the 9 car working very hard, but he's still running about 5-6 car lengths behind Tony Elliott and seems to be maintaining that. Hans Lehn's running back in 3rd position and not gaining on either one of these guys right now.
And Larry, if you're Elliott or Paige Jones, Paige hasn't seen anybody, kind of look over your left shoulder right now, kind of glance back and see if somebody's there. He probably remembers who was 3rd because he put him there. If you're Elliott and Paige, you really don't need to run the risk of racing hard because you're in the main event.
You're in the main event. You want to win. Everybody wants to win when they get in a race car. They want to work at it as hard as they can, but they don't want to do anything silly. Right there, Paige jumps above the cushion just a little bit, lost some ground as he got up there in that loose dirt, and has to battle to get back up with Tony Elliott.
In case you've been in the cave the last 10 years, Paige, one of 2 sons of the 1963 winner of the Indianapolis 500. Parnelli Jones, brother, of course, PJ. Lots of success in the GTP cars. A long time had a ride in Winston Cup. Ran the Melling car. I really thought that would work. I still feel as though that PJ, and for that matter, Paige, has shown the same kind of potential, but I feel that PJ belongs in the major league somewhere. Winston Cup winning the cars.
Well, it's going to be tough to keep those guys out of there. Tony Elliott, though, right now, doing a fine job. He's not running the cushion quite like you see Paige running. He's running down off the cushion a little bit. Seems like he's leaving that door open, but Paige doesn't seem to be able to take advantage of it.
It's a creaky door, though, because when you're not running on the cushion, you're only giving the guy behind you about, well, maybe 3/4 of a car width. It's kind of dangerous to go up there and try and squeeze between the guy in front of you and the cushion. That's exactly what Tony's given him. Maybe he gave him a little too much that time.
Well, he might have as Paige comes around. Is he going to get up there far enough? Yep, right there. Tony can't get back to the cushion. He's been coming off of the cushion. Just left a little bit too much room. Paige Jones took advantage of it. But that's a very risky pass. Very tough to do on a racetrack like this.
Very tough on a track like this, and when you consider that this is just the qualifying, this is the e-ticket, this isn't the actual big ride. Here comes Paige Jones. He's going to win tonight's B-Main, though, semi-feature, whatever you wish to call it. Second goes to a man who qualified very well here tonight, Tony Elliott. For that matter, Paige Jones, don't mean to overlook it, he was the 4th fastest qualifier, as again tonight, only 10/100ths of a second separated first from 4th. Elliott Hansi Lehn was 3rd, and Gary Howard came home 4th.
Paige, you had problems in your heat race, but did a nice job coming back and winning that last chance race.
Yeah, the heat race really hurt us, and that can kind of put us back all weekend. We broke a drive line, and we come back now in the semi. The car's working good, and we were able to go to the front and get by Tony. I just hope we can come from the back and get a good starting position.
Well, tell me about that pass. You kind of went up there where no man has gone before.
Well, that car's working great. Steve Lewis, Bobby used to put a great car underneath me, and it was getting a really good bite off of 2, and Tony was a little bit loose off of 2, and he was loose getting into 3, so he was running a little bit lower than I was, and when we got down in 3, I knew he was going to run low, so my car was sticking well up high, so we went up high.
All right, well, wish you good luck in the feature.
Thank you.
Moment of truth here.
Robbie?
Yes.
It's about ready to open Pontiac shop there.
Yeah.
Okay. Is the track getting worse than what it was before
It's just moving up a little higher.
Is the track the same?
It's just getting black,
I want to know about
but
the front
it's
end.
smooth.
What about getting more traction on the rear?
It was pretty good traction there. I wasn't sawing the wheel or nothing, so I felt real comfortable.
What do you want? Is there any push?
Nope.
I think we should go up.
Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna put a load of fuel in it too, though.
Not very much. You've been on 12 all night. I only went to 14.
Okay. Just get up there and stay on top and be smooth and fast.
To everybody in the grandstands, this looks like only a game of standing on a throttle and driving fast and being brave, but a lot more head work in it than you think. Here are the first 4 starters of tonight's main event: Drake, Flock, Sills, and Jonkman.
Donnie Beechler, Kevin Doty in row 3, Steve Knepper and Randy Roberts in row 4.
Row 5 and 6, Sleepy Trip, John Sarna, Leela McSpadden, and Jack Hewitt.
Row number 7, Robert Delackey and John Heidenreich. Row 8, Fred T. Garden Jr. and Josh Pelkey.
In the 9th and 10th row, this is the 17th through 20th starters: Paige Jones, Tony Elliott, Hans Lean, and Gary Howard.
And rounding out the field are Tony Stewart and Dan Borse in row number 11.
Here's an update from George just moments away here before the Friday night main event.
We just got word that Paige Jones burned a piston in his motor. He's done for the night. The defending champion's done. Hopefully, maybe they've got another motor and they get things back together to run tomorrow night.
Wow, just like 2 years ago, Larry.
Yeah, all over again. Deja vu all over again, and that's the old cliche.
Yep.
This ought to be a very, very tough heat race. We've got a lot of really good guys in this thing. Feature race, I mean, because so many of the terrific guys haven't made the feature yet for tomorrow night.
Jay Drake is bringing the inside row around in that black car. Robbie Flock, they come very close together. Brings the outside row around. The mad scramble is on. The jam is on, and the lead jammer looked like it was going to, and somebody is into the fence going into corner number 1, 2, fishtailing viciously. Somehow he saves it, and Jimmy Sills comes out on top. Jimmy Sills beat both Robbie Flock and Jay Drake. It looked like Jay Drake was going to get the advantage.
It was a very, very tough first corner. The guys banging off the fence, the guys down the bottom sliding up in front of the other guys. But everybody somehow made it through, but Sills made it through faster than anybody.
That 6 car is Donnie Beechler. Robbie Flock drops back to 4th, and the veteran Jimmy Sills, the guy from Northern California, moves into the lead. Here's a guy who's run in just about everything and has no fenders and an engine in it.
That's right. He seems to be just pulling away just a little bit. Flock tries the bottom, see if he can pull off this pass for 3rd place. Slides up, almost makes contact. Close race. Oh, look at Sills.
Tire coming off to Jimmy Sills. Sills comes to, he's blasted. Robbie Flock drives into Jimmy Sills. Both cars, and that's Robert Dolacki getting into Jimmy Sills. Tough crash here. Early laps. Fire breaks out in Dolacki's car. Jimmy Sills lying motionless upside down. These are the early laps of the Saturday night main event.
Jimmy Sills got above the cushion. We take another look at it. Coming down the main straightaway, you can see right here he's got a flat right rear tire. Thing's flat. He's trying to keep it out of the fence, trying to stay up out of everybody's way. Does a pretty good job staying high, but Flock has no place to go. Comes along, clips him in the right rear. They both get upside down, bouncing down the racetrack. Robert Dolacki's trying hard to get down away from him, but bam, he hits him a ton right there. Lucky that the tail end of Sills' race car was pointing towards him, though.
On the replay, you could see it was not a hit into the cage, and that was very fortunate. The most vulnerable part of an open-wheel race car. There are the remains of Robbie Flock's car, and Robbie checking it out, obviously pretty heavily shaken with a little bit of a limp. Robbie with nowhere to go. Jimmy Sills losing power right in front of him. All racers are as much concerned about the equipment as there are other drivers, and Robbie obviously a little stunned at this point, saying, "Okay, Robert." I was talking over it. He walked over and said, "Okay, Robert."
Conscious?
Yeah, he's talking. He's talking. Come on, let's go.
You all right, Robbie? Yeah.
That was checking on the condition of Jimmy Sills.
I got you, buddy.
I'm all right.
Relax, I know.
You're listening live time as Robbie Flock is led away from the accident scene.
Jason, okay?
Yeah, he's fine.
He got through it?
He went through the top.
Want to know about his
Man, there's
teammate?
no place to go.
It's okay, buddy. Yeah, nothing to sweat. Where do you hurt? Your ankle?
I just banged my knees. I'm all right.
Wow, some very, very interesting audio. Just fascinating. Here's the crash again. Robbie drills Jimmy Sills. Watch for Robert Dolacki to come in from the right-hand side of the screen and get into an upside-down Jimmy Sills.
In that particular instance, everybody did the right things. There just wasn't enough room on the racetrack. Sills stayed high. They just had no place to go. Dolacki and Flock both tried to miss him, but they just absolutely can't turn the race car when they're running sideways like they are on this racetrack.
There is another look at Jimmy. Jay Drake just barely misses him. Randy Roberts goes to the inside of the spinning at that moment. Robbie Flock and all the other competitors drop down to the low side of the track. Oh! And Dolacki tried to find the groove around, but it just didn't exist. There were cars. You can see cars still on the high side of the track as well as the low side. That was the leader of a 22-car field that got in trouble.
And that last hit is the one that really hurt. Jimmy Sills had to feel that.
Well, I got a bad start. My motor loaded up a little bit, so it took me about 3/4 of a lap to get momentum. Started getting good, staying on the outside, getting my line down, and just watching the track, and all of a sudden Jimmy was just stopped. I don't know. I seen him, and I started to turn down, and it was like the rear end of his car just fell down right in front of me. So I just pitched the car trying to miss him and drive it straight down, and I just hit him a ton, and I think I rolled over his left rear. So I just tucked and went for the ride. And then I waited a second, and I heard cars still out on the track, so I didn't want to unbutton because, you know, it's not over. And then all of a sudden people come running up to me, so I knew it was okay to start getting out. And there was a lot of fuel and a lot of stuff around my feet, so I was concerned of getting out of there. Once I jumped out, I noticed that Jimmy was still upside down and he wasn't moving. So my concerns from him were, you know, real bad. So I run over to him and helped him get the car upright, and I was concerned for him because he wasn't moving. So I knew I was okay, and then I realized people started telling me he was conscious, so that was a big relief because I was scared for Jimmy.
You think you can get the car back together for tomorrow night?
I'm sure this car is scratched. It's tore off some shock mounts. The car took a good crash test. The chassis, the roll cage held up well. We just got some shock mounts and stuff like that that are bent up, and it's too hard to weld when you're on the road like this. So Jason's in the other car, and I'm sure if he makes a show, he'll probably stay in the car, and I might have to hitchhike a little bit. I run here fast, and just hope some people realize that and maybe give me a shot to run their car tomorrow. If not, I'll play spectator again. I hate to do it, but that's the way it goes.
Well, hopefully you can thumb a ride for tomorrow night.
I'll have it out. Take some aspirin tonight and sleep good and be out there banging on doors tomorrow.
While Robbie Flock begins his recuperation, others are still at work.
Donnie, did you change anything to the race car?
No, the car felt pretty good. I think we're going to leave it the way it is. We're taking a gamble right here with our tires, and we're hoping we'll make it to 20 laps.
How were you able to miss Jimmy Sells?
Well, I came down the front stretch on him, and he had already committed to the high line, so I was already down, and I think he jumped the cushion, and I seen that happen, so I knew that he wasn't going to keep coming around, so then I could slide on back up into position.
Have you done anything to the race car to maybe move back up to the front?
Well, we're having a little bit of motor problems, so we've been working on the motor, see if we can't sort things out. You know, I think once we get the motor run a little bit, we'll be okay to get up on top and really start running.
All right, well, good luck.
Thank you.
Here are positions 6 through 10 here after just 2 of 20 laps. Incidentally, none of those drivers realized that Jimmy had a right rear tire go down. They were all just speculating, and Jimmy's injuries appear to be confined most seriously to his lower appendages, like his hip and lower leg areas. There does not appear to be any head injuries involved, nor do they appear to be serious in nature, but he has been removed to the hospital.
You know that Tony Stewart has moved from 21st to 10th after only the first few laps of this race.
Tony Stewart, the teammate of the race leader, Donnie Beechler, as the field fires off into corner number 1, a little bit subdued here for a lap or two because of the seriousness of that crash. 3 cars heavily involved there in a crash on lap number 2 of Saturday night's main event.
Beechler leading this race, leading it fairly easily, really. He's 5-6 car lengths ahead of everybody. As the rest of the pack battling hard, trying to catch up.
Interesting story there in the top 5, Larry. The bright orange and blue number 20 of John Sarna. We commented earlier in this broadcast about how little preparation, little experience he has in the midgets. We take a look at Donnie Beechler, the race leader. Sarna doing well.
Yeah, Beechler's running kind of a different line that time. He dropped down to the middle of the racetrack, slid up, and caught the cushion coming off. That's not quite the groove that we've seen most of these guys taking here.
Sarna on the inside of Steve Knepper. That's one of the 2 Zarunian cars, as they right now are locked in a contest for 5th position. You can see the number 1 of Jason Jonkman is also involved in that battle.
I'll tell you what, he was really down on the bottom as he went in there. You take a look at Knepper, he's battling hard. This whole field trying to catch Beechler, but Beechler's really kind of checked out right now.
There's Jonkman going by, and there's Tony Stewart, whom you were commenting on earlier. Stewart continues to move up. Looks like he's approximately in 7th position right now. Tony, who started way back in the last row because he didn't have a chance to qualify, having attended the Silver Crown race Thursday night, last night in Indianapolis.
Kevin Doty moves up, and it looks like Roberts having trouble down on the inside there. Looks like the engine's going away. He's going to have to pull the pits.
So for Randy Roberts, the veteran driver here, who has had a 2nd place finish back in 1983, Colorado driver that at one time thought he was going to win this race sometime, still believes that. This year is stretching out to be a long one for him.
We take a look at Beechler again. He's moved right up to the cushion. Sarna moving around. Flock right there. Or I don't mean Flock, I mean Dunkman as he pulls right up in front of him. Slides up in front of him. Dunkman still running the Cushman. Sarna running the inside.
John Sarna doing a spectacular job. Sarna gets up along the cushion, gets sideways in the racetrack. Oh, he spins. Oh, he's blasted by Hans Lean. Hans Lean taking a terrible tumble in the same position where Jimmy Sills and Robbie Flock just got into trouble. Look at the carnage to Hansi's race car. Hans, one of the more popular guys in midget racing. Let's take another look at it again. We certainly hope that Hansi is okay. Here's Sarna going hard into the first corner, climbing up on the wall. He comes down, Larry, and no one knows which direction he's going to end up going.
Well, that's the problem. He got up on the wall. Everybody's trying to miss him, but nobody knows which way he's going. Lean just had no place to go. He started high. Sarna headed back up there. He tried to cut low, but he did. He blasted him hard, tore both right side tires off that race car as he got upside down, and Sarna sits up against the fence. He's out of the car and okay.
Let's take one more look at it. Hans Lean, and this is at real speed. Take a look at how quickly it happened. Here comes Hans. He looks high, he looks low. There's just nowhere to go. And look how quickly that car tumbles over. And 3 wheels, actually 2 wheels come off, and the other 2 are just left dangling by the time the car comes to a stop. Hans, kind of a compact guy.
First of all, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just a little shaken up. I'm more concerned about him than myself. I'm fine.
John, what happened?
The car got loose going into one, and I tapped the wall, and it spun me sideways, and then he slammed into the front of me. I mean, it just happened so fast. I was just hanging on.
Donnie, I talked to you earlier after the first red flag. You didn't change anything. Car seems like it's just riding on a rail.
It's very tight right now. It's really in good shape. I think what we're going to do is change a tire, though. Like I said before, we were gambling on it, and this was a good break for us, so we're going to change the tire and stay with the same compound, but just get a little more rubber on it.
After 2 very dangerous-looking red flags on the Friday night main, here's how the top 10 are running. Remember, the first 4 finishers tonight move on automatically to the Saturday night 1994 Belleville Midget Nationals Championship race.
In 6th spot is Tony Stewart. Again, he started 21st. It's a pretty touchy job to get through that many race cars on this racetrack, but so far he's got to gain a couple more spots.
Stewart is the guy who started out running so well this season on Thursday Night Thunder, winning out in California, won a few races in the Midwest. Looked like he was going to have a spectacular year. It's still been a very good year. Actually, Mike Bliss has kind of sidetracked him. If it wasn't for Bliss, Tony probably have about twice as many wins.
He sure would, but Beechler's the man right now. He's the guy in the lead. He's led this race most of the way. And right now it's Kevin Doty in that red car down on the bottom, trying to move into 2nd spot. Can he do it as they go down the back straightaway?
Californian Jay Drake is on the outside. Kevin Doty on the inside. Kevin just inches up in front of Jay. Jay has to take evasive action. Now he looks to the inside, but not quite enough momentum. And Kevin Doty, the Belleville veteran, moves into the runner-up position.
That's right. It looks like Knepper down on the inside of him now, trying to get back up there. And Stewart has moved into 5th spot.
Tony Stewart is coming on like a freight train. Running the middle of the racetrack. He's found a way to get some speed there. The track is shorter around, but usually you can't keep the momentum up quite as much in the center of the track, but he's doing a pretty good job.
There's a little bit of moisture right down in the middle of the racetrack. You can see the black spot. You can see right down there in the middle of the racetrack, right where he's at there's some moisture as he flips back up across the black spot.
Drake touched the fence that time. He gives Stewart an opening on the inside. Stewart goes underneath him. Stewart is following the suit that was played by Steve Knepper as the 2 of them move past Drake. Drake makes one little mistake, saves his life, but loses 2 positions.
That's right. Jason Jonkman running back there in 6th spot, now gaining on Drake. We'll take a look at Stewart and Knepper battling for 3rd and 4th spot.
And look at Fred Teagard. Every once in a while, the white, yellow numeral number 70 shows up on the picture. Teagard running strong inside the top 8.
Stewart still trying to maintain that low line and get around Knepper. He runs in there, he can't quite do it. Look at this on the outside. Jonkman tries to go around Jay Drake.
Stewart, remember, has come from the back of the pack as we go back and look at Drake and Jonkman side by side. Jonkman, Robbie Flock teammate, just saw his teammate flip hard out of this race. There's Drake on the inside, Junkman on the high side. Junkman not only has the position, he has the momentum, he has the lane. He is running.
He really is. Teagard in that white car down there, as you said, Brian, in control. We're looking at Jason Junkman. He's up to 5th spot, and I actually believe he's running that cushion. He might be gaining just a little bit on Tony Stewart right now.
Stewart kind of entertains me, but mystifies me. I can't believe he thinks he's found something there in the center of the track, but he's up to 4th.
I'll tell you something. When you come from 21st to 4th, you know that you found a different place. You better run where everybody else doesn't run. Now that he's caught Knepper, you know, he might be better off to run a little higher, but when you're running that fast, it's hard to lose your group.
At this pace, if Tony Stewart can get into that championship final, doesn't look like he's going to catch teammate Beechler, but the way he's running, and if he finishes in the first 4, he's in tomorrow's championship race. He could be a threat. Here comes Junkman moving on the high side. Jason's got designs on that 4th position.
He's got to worry about keeping that 4th position right now. Junkman really on the move, up around the top of the racetrack. Stewart seems to be very fast down in 1 and 2, but not nearly as fast as 3 and 4. Junkman is much faster down in 3 and 4.
He's only going to have to hold him back for one more turn, though. This is the checkered flag coming up. This is the battle for the all-important 4th position. And 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th goes to Tony Stewart as he moves on into the championship final for Saturday night for the 1994 Belleville Midget Nationals Championship. But tonight's main event belongs to Donnie Beechler. Kevin Doty finishes 2nd, Steve Knepper 3rd, and Tony Stewart picks up the all-important 4th slot. Jason Jonkman was 5th, followed by Drake Teagarden, Leland McSpadden, Tony Elliott, and John Heidenreich.
Donnie, fantastic run.
Thank you very much. Track was in great shape. We found a groove about right in the middle of the track. Ralph Potter, Brian Tracy, Jerry, Kelly, the whole bunch, they did a great job setting up the car. I really appreciate them giving me the opportunity to drive it.
Well, tomorrow night you're going to get a fantastic starting spot. What's it going to mean to you to win the Belleville Nationals?
Just another race, I guess. No, I'm just kidding. It's great, you know. I mean, it's you look forward to this all year, and if you get the opportunity even to start up here, it's just betters your chances.
Well, we look forward.
Kevin, you set fast time, and not only did you do that, but you broke the track record, and then you ran 2nd. You had a pretty good night.
Yeah, all in all, we had a real good night. We had a couple, small little problems that were bugging us, through the night. But I'm sure, our team will work these little problems out, and we'll be ready for tomorrow night. That's what we're looking forward to.
Well, you went from last to 4th, but most importantly, you're in the main event for tomorrow night.
Yeah, we had a lot of trouble with motors last year, and Donnie won the thing, and we ended up 4th, and we came clear from, I think, 22nd or 21st to get up through there, so we're both real happy. I'm glad Donnie got out front, stayed out front, and I think Ralph's real happy just that we got both cars in the show tonight, so, we're just looking forward to tomorrow night right now.
Well, you got a great start for tomorrow night. You're pretty far up front. What's this race going to mean to you if you can pull this one off?
It's one of the 2 biggest races of the year. I think the Chili Bowl and the Belleville Nationals are the 2 biggest races we run on dirt. So, it's kind of like winning one of the Triple Crown deals. So, it's going to be a big race. Everybody's that's anybody has won this race, so it's going to be pretty prestigious to win this tomorrow.
Well, good.
8 drivers have now qualified for the championship final on Saturday. There will be 4 more races, and 16 more drivers will have a chance.